As spawning in the top right hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. Este Hydra in the chat. Gah, baby, gah. And spawning in the bottom right corner, we have the Italian Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Basilisk. It is Reynor. Here we go. And what I mentioned previously, I do emphasize here as well. I was talking about how we've seen a lot more all-ins in ZVP as of late. In general, a lot of these maps have a very difficult 4-base setup to actually defend on, and that is exemplified here on the Old Republic. You have your natural, which is pretty standard, pretty solid. We have our third base as well, which also reminds me a little bit of the Eternal Empire, except not as extreme. We have a ramp, we have a pathway here towards a third base. It is going to be on the high ground, but what is difficult to defend is the fourth expansion. Here we have the fourth base. It is further away, so it does have a longer defensive rush distance here to the fourth base. Has a very open entrance here towards the top side, open entrance here on the right hand side as well for run-bys, for harassment, for bailing counterattacks as well. We have seen some Protoss players attempt to expand on the low ground, but it's also on the low ground and also very open as well. Very open, very accessible. We have seen many Terrans and Protosses struggle and fail to defend on 4 bases here on the Old Republic. Again, I said it before, I said it again, I'm surprised this made it through. This made it through the TLMC. It's crazy, papi. It is a large map, that is true, so I had the longer rushes since it's a larger map, but again, it's quite difficult to set up defensively here on 4 bases, which is why I expect to see something more aggressive out of herO. We'll see. But we do expect aggression out of the Protoss. We've been seeing a lot more of that as well. And we'll see how herO differs compared to MaxPax. I mean, again, I feel like we didn't really get to see MaxPax at his best, as he was like testing out a different kind of build. But we'll see. I'd be shocked to see herO go double Stargate Void Ray into the same build that we saw previously. For now, though, we are building up. Gate expanded to Cybercore. Hatch gas pool out of Reynor. Let's go. As there's the initial Stargate open out of herO. From here, a standard opener would be Stargate into a third base, or Stargate Oracle into a third base, into Twilight Council Forge, +1 and Blink. We'll see if herO goes for an earlier Twilight Council, which has been more common as of late, going for an earlier Council into earlier Blink, into earlier Aggression, or even into Glaives. Show us what you got. Reynor setting up. Yo, I'm getting deja vu. Void Ray open out of herO. Does open Void Ray. We'll be hunting down these overlords. And just like against MaxPax initially, we now open things up. It could be Void Ray into a Fleet Beacon, into a Tempest Rush. It could be Void Ray into a second Stargate, into double Stargate Void Ray. It could be Void Ray into Twilight Council, into Glaive Adepts. We do have options here for herO. MaxPax was opening up Void Ray into double Stargate Void Ray, which was crazy. Into his own charge. We'll see if herO does something similar. Here we go. Void Ray moves out. Third base is being taken. Lings are poking in, and Reynor is joining behind this. He's not making a massive surge of Lings to run by and to kill the third. That's not happening here. First overlord is found. The tech will be hidden. And what do you have for us? There it is, early Twilight Council. Let's go. Oh, Twilight Council into Robo. Okay, so herO, you have my attention. This is not the same build as we saw from MaxPax. There's no second Stargate. There's no Templar Archives. So with the Twilight Council into Robo, I believe this should lead into a War Prism, into a Templar Archives, into a delayed Archon drop with a High Templar. I think that's the direction we're heading in, but we'll see. But I'm leaning towards Templar Archives. We'll keep an eye on herO as he does start up a Forge. Lings, they poke in. Oracle's out of position. First step goes down. Does he get the Pylon? Yeah, Pylon is surrounded, and so far that's Pico's here by Reynor. Looks like he will kill the Pylon. Nicely done. Pylon goes down. That does supply block herO. And what's it going to be? Oh, charge. Early charge timing. +1 charge. The Forge was the tell. I believe if you go for the Archon drop, you don't actually get a Forge. And I believe the Robo's earlier, if not mistaken. So we have +1 and early charge. Now, this is designed to punish a Zerg player that does skip Roaches. If they skip Roaches, if they skip Banelings, if they go purely Ling Hydra, then I'd be concerned for Reynor. On a larger map like this, there is a very high chance that Reynor would skip tech. Speaking of skipping tech, he is. Do you see what I see? No Roach Warren, no Baneling Nest, +1 range. He is going Ling Hydra. He's going straight Ling Hydra here. Which means, how does he stop the charge timing? You can technically, like, as long as he doesn't overdrone. If he doesn't overdrone, if he makes a massive surge of Lings and Hydras, and if he cuts workers a little bit early, then he can defend against this. There's that Hydrogen, as we did mention. Again, this is very greedy. We're cutting a lot of corners here. And we'll see what herO could achieve with this earlier charge timing. Zealots are amassing. Oh, never mind. So my assumption was that herO was going to warp in a massive wave of Zealots and commit. He does go for some gateways, but as a fleet beacon and a second Stargate, herO, he's trying to rush into Skytoss. Okay, suddenly the turns are tabled. Lings, they collapse in. No safety shield battery. Yeah, no shield battery to defend. Zealots are going down. The Oracle once again is across the map. Immortals are exposed. And this is a messy defense here from herO. Also, all the Zealots have been scouted. Reynor knows. Again, there's no reason for there to be this many Zealots this early on. So Reynor, he's fully aware of the charge follow-up. But because herO is rushing into Skytoss like this, because it's being so greedy tech-wise, there's a big window in time where Reynor can just kill him with this +1 timing. +1 is done in 10 seconds. Reynor, he's cutting workers early. You can see here, no saturation. Two drones. That is nothing here at the 4th base. So Reynor, he's going for a 3-base all-in. 3-base all-in, mass Hydra with +1. He's rushing across the map. And hero's not ready. Storm is not done. Without Storm, I mean, how do we hold on? We need Chrono. There we go. Chrono's on the Storm. Chrono's on the Temple Archives. Hydras are moving in. And looks like Storm will finish. Yeah, so Storm will complete. 10 seconds away. Nice concave here from Reynor. But now he has to push into Storm. And can Reynor, he backs off. Wow, Reynor, he backs off. He drones. Reynor, he's droning. He saturates the 4th base, takes gases, and Reynor, he's going into Hive Tech, which means herO got away with it. No shot. herO got away with it. And Reynor doesn't know. I believe if he was aware, if Reynor knew that Tempest were being produced, if there was a fleet beacon, I think Reynor commits. I think Reynor just commits and just apes up the ramp and tries to break the 3rd, and I would say is maybe successful there. But Reynor backs off and he doesn't know what just happened. That means that herO, he gets away with rushing into Tempest. Tempest are popping out already. 4th base is now on the way. Again, Reynor was just unaware. And as Reynor backs off, I feel like herO benefits more. Now it's revealed. Okay. Here, he just reveals himself. He just moves out with the Tempest. It's an odd choice. Ideally, you hide them. Bam, you can see the Spire, right? This is a reactive Spire. This Spire would not be being built if herO didn't just reveal his Tempest. So I feel like he showed his hand a little bit early there. Like now, Reynor, he has time to prepare. As he threw down the Spire as soon as he saw that Tempest. So Reynor, now he has the opportunity to build up a comparable army. It's still a ways away, but he's getting there. Go for double Nidus, let's go. Ling Hydra on the left. This center base is going to be difficult to defend with throwing down cannons, throwing down shield batteries, or just mainly cannons, really. Setting up stasis traps. herO is turtling up, and Reynor's maxed. Reynor, he's maxed out. And the pressure's on Reynor to try to break herO early, before herO maxes. Go Nidus into the natural. Potentially into the main as well. herO, he reacts, he warps in. Overseer's chased down. We have Link Hydra towards the left-hand side. Remember, no banelings. And remember, the longer this goes on, the better it is for herO. As herO is slowly maxing out. Nidus into the main. herO, does he notice? Uh-oh. Where's the warp in? Where's the reaction? It's gonna finish. Okay. He does not see. He doesn't see, doesn't know. Lurker's a bust into the main base. It should not have happened. Late reaction out of herO. We have Link Hydra towards the front lines. Oh, but herO, he is in position for this. Zones back the main army, but Lurkers, they're wreaking havoc in the main base. They're going for the production. Can they deny the upgrades? Yeah, tectonic destabilizers is going to be cancelled. There's the denial. 15 probe kills as well. Lurkers, they pop up from the high ground. And again, this damage should not have happened. 16 probes and the fleet beacon. herO, does he notice? He throws down 2 Stargates. That's not a fleet beacon. there we go. Fleet beacon's on the way. That means the herO can't actually make any more sky tilts in the near future. Reynor has more time. He has more time to build up. Now, what is he doing with this time? Second Spire, spire upgrades, infestation bit upgrades as well, Ultra Cavern. He's basically taking up everything Hive Tech. Everything Hive Tech is on the way. But currently, Reynor is stuck with a Lair Tech army. Stuck with Link Hydra. And this isn't the kind of army that can break herO. So here, hey, he secures his 4th. Yes, here he takes a 5th. This is a big moment for herO. Can he establish and hold on to a 5th expansion? He shouldn't be able to, but if he's able to get it up and running, then this is going to be a massive, massive advantage here for herO. He'll be able to build up a bank as herO is maxed. A lot of it is still in production, the Tempest and the Mothership, but he's getting there. And currently, I do favor herO in a head-on fight. Currently. Bearing in mind that Reynor is still refining his composition, but he's not there yet. How many spellcasters? 2 Vipers, 2 Infestors. Vipers move in, they do get 1 carrier. Carrier goes down. So Runway runs into a wall of spines and lurkers. More carriers on the way. Here is getting very carrier heavy. It's gonna have 5 carriers. herO moves in. Tempest, they pop up against the spores. Oh, there are a handful of lurkers here, but not that many, to be honest. Can't really hold the line. Nice abductions. Gets 2. Gets 3 carriers at the same time. Reynor goes for a counterattack. The Hydras are moving in. And herO turns around. Yeah, he turns everything back around to defend against the Hydras. here he wants that fifth. Reynor, he will lose everything here. Reynor takes down 2 Archons in the process. Just 2. Yeah, takes down 2 Archons with that Reynor. He plummets in supply, but he's ready for a remax. He's building up more Corruptors. And needs more Lurkers, to be honest. He has 4. Only 4 Lurkers. Yes, he's up against Skytoss, but a lot of the strength of this army comes from the Immortals, comes from the Archons, comes from the High Templar on the ground. So you don't want to neglect your anti-air. Speaking of, did morph in those Archons. Anti-ground, I think is what I meant to say. don't want to neglect it. As here he's securing his expansion. We're waiting for the Greater Spire. Reynor getting into Broodlords. So it's got 18 Corruptors ready for the Broods. No Broodlords yet. Still only 4 Lurkers and 2 Ultras. Oh boy. There it is. I was waiting for it. We have 6 Broodlords. 6 Broods are morphing in. Meanwhile, we have 10 Tempest. Jesus. 10 Tempest. Not many High Templar, only 4. So limited storms. Tempest push forward. Reynor goes to the counterattack. Lings, they will hit the 5th. There's a massive wall of cannons. No shield batteries, interestingly enough. Yeah, Ultras is moving in as well. Oh, massive storms on the Corruptors. Storms do connect. Corruptors, they get softened up. Meanwhile, the Ultras that try to break through. We have defensive Stalkers. Here he will defend. Ooh, catching at the Vipers. Vipers are going down. Ultras do fall. There's the cloak. Main army pushes in, breaks through all the Lurkers. It does take 1 fungal to the face. There's still 2 Lurkers burrowed. Nah, not anymore. Yeah, they ain't caught out, and here he's just barreling on through the main army. He takes out every single Ultra, every single Broodlord. There's nothing on the ground. And here he is doing it. We have 10 Ultras on the way, but again, they're going to be trickling in. The Corruptor count is still quite high. But what about that ground army? What about the anti-ground battle? Even if he kills all the Tempest, it may not matter. And here come the Ultras again. They're trickling in. Ultra gets thrown away. Another Ultra as well rallies into the army. And Reynor solo nothing. He collapses in. Dies with the Corruptors. Ultras are trying to break through. Yeah, storms are connecting. The final Ultras are full. Oh no, the Ultras are cleaning up. He's doing it. The Ultras. Ultras, they win on the ground, and the Corruptors, they win in the skies. Reynor, he takes it. Barely takes the fight. And herO, what's he gonna remax with? What's it? Oh. Where is that? Looked bugged out for a moment there. But what is the remax, if any at all, going Stalker? He's gonna try to go mass Stalker, but again, the Ultras are on the ground. There's still 5 Ultras left. Again, it was a nice surround there from Reynor. And here he has nothing. Here he has nothing left here. Given time, he can rebuild, but this is it. this is all he's got left. We got Stalker. And more Stalker. Okay, so we're just warping in mass Stalker. Now, technically, herO could out-micro this army. Corruptors aren't going to be able to achieve too much on their own. And Reynor did lose a big chunk of his economy. How many Ultras? 6. 6 Ultras and 3 Infestors. That's what matters here. If Reynor can land a fungal, these Stalkers should die. Like, they should just die to a fungal. Yeah, speaking of fungal, ooh, does not connect. Nice dodge. Again, he has to avoid those fungals, but even then, the ultras, they can just run in. They can just run in. Lings as well. Yeah, herO, he was all in. It was all or nothing, and he just barely didn't have enough. This is the final army for herO. Lings, they collapse in. Down to what, 6 Stalkers. Fungal lands. We have a couple of Storms behind this, but Storms, they do nothing against these ultras. They just tank it. They tank it back. Oh, okay, nice control. Blinks away. Immortal arrives. Okay. That's the herO. Catching out a couple of Infestors. 2 Infestors go down. Ultras are getting very low. Gets 1. Does get an Ultra. herO, he's still in this. Now we refine the army. Now it's not just pure Stalker anymore. Now he has Zealots, Archons, Immortals. It almost looked like herO was stun locked. It almost looked like herO didn't really know what to make. Oh, this is brutal. Things they check for an expansion. Oh, nice pickups. Getting 2 more Infestors. And herO microing his heart out. Lings, they do bust into the center base. Oh no! Gets the mineral line. And herO, he's running out of money. He's running out of economy. He'll lose the most crucial mining base. At the same time, so will Reynor. Ultras are coming in, going for the neural. Gets one of the Immortals. And Reynor, he should clean this up. Yeah, he's still got the Ultras. GG gets called, and Reynor, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Yeah, that was game 1. I mean, that was game 1. GG, well played. It was a very chaotic game is what I will say. I was very concerned when Reynor didn't commit to the all-in. Remember, winding it back, Reynor, he initially went for a +1 Hydra all-in on 3 bases, and herO, he was rushing to Skytoss. And the moment that Reynor turned back around and decided not to commit up the ramp and not to try to break his opponent, I was like, oh, I mean, as we were trying to emphasize that at the time, Reynor didn't really know what he was kind of giving up there. He didn't really know what herO was getting away with, and herO, he got away with Skytoss. With that, herO had a big window in time where he had a superior base, superior army. He was able to build up his Skytoss, build up his Archons, his Immortals. I will say that his base defense was a little bit lacking. He had like a scattering of cannons, no shield batteries, and rarely left any units to defend as well. So herO, he was vulnerable back at home, and the run-bys actually did take advantage of him. When it came to the main fights, herO, he was actually out trading Reynor until that final moment. Until that final fight with Reynor, he got a full surround. He was able to collapse in from the front, from the back, from the flank as well. He got a full surround on herO, and he barely was able to win that fight. And that was game. That was game then and there. GG, well played. Whew. Reynor does take a lead in the series, and now we're getting to game number 2. Oh my god. Jumping into game 2. Game 2 is going to be on Winter Madness. Interesting. Okay. This is one of the more defensive maps, much more defensive than the last map, of course, than Old Republic. And here we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Italian Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Basilisk. It is Reynor. Here we go. As we are getting into game number 2. And if herO were to try to rush into Skytoss, I do think this will be an easier map to defend on 4 bases, and even on 5 bases. So this should be a little more straightforward for herO if that were the plan. And we'll see how herO does open up. As a reminder, herO, he had his own quirky build last game. He went for Stargate Void Ray opener into Twilight Council Robo Forge +1 early charge into not an early timing into rushing into Skytoss. He made that hard switch into a Temple Archives and into the Fleet Beacon. Did not commit to an early charge timing, even though I feel like he would have been relatively successful. I mean, he could have been successful. But no, I decided to take up instead. And we'll see what we go for this time. That's here just being as annoying as possible. Trying to force some inefficient mining. As he does bounce a couple of drones around. So far we're selling in. Reynor force like the unnatural natural expands here at the triangular third location. Meanwhile, we have a tech of choice, Stargate out of herO. And again, welcome to Winter Madness. We did mention this earlier, but this is one of the larger maps in the map pool. Longer rush distance by ground. As you can see here, the third and fourth bases have choke points. They have choke points entering set expansions, so these are easier to defend, easier to maintain, and they're also closer together as well. So your initial 4-base setup is relatively straightforward. The 5th base is a little bit more exposed, true, but because of the more defendable 3rd and 4th base, you can wall up and wall off and rely on site defense and just move your army with your 5th. So you can be in position. And we'll see if we'll get there. Let's see if we get there again. The adept does poke in. Pokes in. Reynor does try to catch the adept and we'll be able to get it. Adept goes down, and so far standard opener. This time no void ray, right? There's no void ray shenanigans. Oracle into a second oracle. 3rd base is being taken, and from here we should soon be seeing a Twilight Council and a Forge. Should be. As the Oracle does find a drone, gets an active tumor. Second drone as well, some decent damage. 3rd base is almost done. It's almost complete. Reynor is going Eva Chamber first, going for +1 melee, going for a more standard Ling Hydra composition with early upgrades. And there it is, Twilight Council and Forge. Again, this does look like +1 and Blink. This actually looks like a little bit late here. A little bit delayed. But overall, this looks pretty tame. It's relatively tame. Oh, never mind. It is going to be +1 and not Blink, +1 and Charge instead. Okay. Bearing in mind, this upgrade timing is later than last game. This is much, much later, as this was thrown down as the 3rd base was finishing. Last game was thrown down as it was beginning. So much later timing. We see why. Jesus, we've gotten up to 4 oracles. Not getting a 5th. Okay, just 4. Hunting with queens, hunting with drones. Is there too much HP on the 4th base? It's going to be close. Queens, they try to respond. The 4th base is getting low. Can he snipe the 4th? Oh, he can. Yeah, it's going to be close here. 1 oracle does get sniped, but the 4th base is going to be cancelled. Oh, that's a kill. Oh, no, that was a kill. That should not have happened. That's a kill, not a cancel. Ay, ay, ay. And herO is going double robo, double immortal production. Okay. Interesting. He's building up his robos. Storm has begun. Very tech heavy here. Very tech heavy. He's only on what, 3 gateways? So low gateway count, throwing down extra gates, but more importantly, the double robo and the storm, and the upgrades. Here he rotates. He was able to spot the initial Evo chamber. He's forcing out extra spores out of Reynor, second spore in the main. As Reynor's looking for a way in. And pokes in, pulls away. herO, he is secure on 3 bases. herO, he doesn't even attempt to expand. The reasoning for this, as to why the 4th base is late, is because of the double rope. Again, this is just very, very intense on 3 bases. Very dedicated. And he's building up to a massive immortal push. Lings, they do scout the... he scouts, he sees. He does spot the robos. I feel like Lurker Tech would be ideal here, if he can get there. More so than just Ling Hydra. Zelt's not going to be cleaned up. Prism goes down in the main. Oof. Zelt's just a Prism. Reynor, he defends. Building on more Hydras. Getting into Baneling speed. Okay, getting into Ling Bane Hydra instead. herO, he commits with everything. Actually, the Immortals have arrived. The Mass Storm is here as well. That's 6 High Templar, each with at least 1 Storm. Queens are exposed. There's Storm with the Ling, Storm with the Hydras as well. Gonna be zoning away. That was 3 Storms. We got at least 3 left. Gotta count those Storms. Oh. He's trying to dive in. Oh, High Templar gets sniped. Snipes 1, barely doesn't snipe the other. But High Templar, they're so exposed. And there's 1 Storm remaining. That was the final Storm. The final Storm. Archons are morphing in. Oh, we need more reinforcements. And here he barely has enough. The Zealots, they have arrived. Rushes on in. And thankfully for Reynor, there's no War Prism. If there was a Prism here, then Reynor, he'd just be broken. But the reinforcements are delayed. And here he's waiting for Storm. Okay. I was curious what he was waiting for. I feel like he could have kept pushing, but he's waiting for the High Templar, waiting for Storms. Wants to be safe. And he's expanding behind this. Taking his own 4th base. Here he rotates over. Archon is going to get thrown away. Bit of miscontrol out of herO. I guess a nice Storm zone. Oh, it's the Hydras that go back into the Storm. They go back in. There's 1 Storm left. Storms are landing. Hydras are going down. And GG gets called. herO, he breaks through the main army, breaks into the mineral line, and herO ties up the series 1-1. GG. A very unique build here out of herO. Borderline 3 base all in. He's still got a 4th base behind it and still saturated his 4th base as well, but very dedicated on 3 bases, building up his Storm, building up his Immortal count as well, and going for a massive push. I will say that Reynor did see it coming ahead of time. Remember, he scouted both robos, which was a tell, and at the time I felt like the correct play there was to get into Lurker Tech. And sure, Reynor, he would most likely have to just give up on the low ground base, just give up on the expansion, but try to defend on the high ground and defend on a 4 base setup with his Lurkers instead. Alas, he chose to stick with Ling Bane Hydra. The problem there is that it's a very, very fragile composition. As you saw, a couple of well-placed Storms, and there were a lot of Storms, just breaks through, just crumbles the Ling Bane Hydra. So that army does melt, and now here we go, we're getting into the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. Didn't think herO had anywhere enough there. He had plenty of Storms. He had the Immortals, of course, popping up. The Zealot reinforcements were delayed. That was slowing him down. But for the most part, again, as we mentioned, like he does have he did have the superior army. And here we go. We're getting into the ace match. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Italian Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Basilisk. It is Reynor. we go. So we load into 10,000 feet. I will say that the initial 4 bases are closer together here, so herO should have an easier time building up and maintaining this initial 4 base setup. Meanwhile, we do see Reynor force take the unnatural natural, and we'll see if herO goes to something more aggressive here. Let's go. I mean, he already did in the last game. We'll see if he does something similar. I'm sure we'll see a different build. Game 1, we saw +1 in charge into Sky Toss, into a Tempest Rush. Game 2, we had the later charge, later +1 into double Robo Mass Immortal. What do you have for us here in Game 3? Now, when it comes to Reynor setup and Reynor style, I mean, muted play is going to be an option here on 10,000 feet. We've yet to see Spire and muted play yet in this series. We've seen it earlier, of course. We saw it against Max. We could see it here. It would be a way to bypass the choke points and bypass the more defensive position here that these bases have. Otherwise, we could see a rush into Lurker Tech and just a more of a greedier style instead. Not too fond of that idea on smaller maps. We'll see. From here, once again, Stargate opener at a herO. So we're not deviating when it comes to the opener. Makes sense. Just Stargate opener into a 3rd base. What we're really curious by is the timing of the Twilight Council. Timing that we're going to be going for. Whether or not he gets a Forge. Whether or not he opens Oracle. Of course, bearing in mind another big part of herO being able to get away with the initial opener was also down to the fact that he killed the 4th, killed Reynor's 4th base, not even cancelled. That did slow down his own economy, slow down his production. Another big factor as well. So now Reynor pulls out, and we're just joining. From here, we're joining with saturating. It is going to be Oracle first at a herO, not Void Ray. Let's see, hunts down the Overlord. From here, herO can expand. Oh, going for the forward expansion. Okay, bold move. Bold move out of herO. Kills the Overlord, expands in the center. Ooh, Lings, they do flood in. Again, here he was out of position, killing and hunting down the Overlord. Lings, they will get 1 probe, not bad. And that is an early Twilight Council. Okay, you have our attention here. So early council, earlier than any other game so far. Adepts take it into the 3rd base, they get 1, they get 2 drones. They get 3. Can we get 4? Ooh, not quite a 3rd actually. Yeah, it does miss one of the shots. Reynor does defend. Nice crisis management here out of our Zerg player. And based on the fact that currently there is no Forge, this looks like Glaive Adepts. It does look like Glaives. If we get a Forge, it's more indicative here of Charge or Blink. But without a Forge, it does scream Glaive Adepts. I say that he's got 3 more gates on the way. It's going to be 5 gateways in total. Taking extra gases. Going into Blink. Okay. The extra gateway count is what was looking a little bit odd. Usually if you go into Glaives, it's 4 gate Glaives. We have an extra gateway. We have extra gases being taken as well. Are we going into an 8 gate? He's getting more. It's been a while since we've seen a proper 8 gate 3 base Blink all in. But he's getting there. Now, typically with this build, basically you're going to really fast blink. There's no forge, there's no +1, there's no upgrades, so we're not really thinking further ahead in the game. Typically, because there's no robo, you want a proxy gateway. So you want like 7 gates at home and then a proxy 8th gateway in the center or on your opponent's half of the map. And that's your reinforcement point. And you just send it. You just keep orbing in stalkers and just all in. This was very popular back in 2023, a couple of years ago. Not too long ago, but a couple of years. It was very trendy. So I said 2024 even. Yeah. During the first season of Ultra Love. First season. As we're bringing in more stalkers. Currently, how many gateways do we have? So far at 6. Now we have a 7th. So that is, there it is, 7 gateways. 7 gateways at home. And we are expecting an 8th gateway proxied. Stalkers are pushing. Remember, there's no forge. Stalkers are moving out. So we have charge as a follow-up. Okay. Oracles are setting up. And because of the terrain here, because of the center expansion, ooh, stasis does not connect. Yeah, no stasis trap. Lings they will deflect. Lings are coming for a surround as well. The Oracles have to support. But because of the placement of this expansion, it doesn't actually take that long to reinforce. But there it is. There's a pylon. This is late. There's a late pylon, late proxy at a herO. He needs those reinforcements as quickly as possible. Remember, the longer this game goes on, the better it is for Reynor. Reynor, he's taking up. He's going into a hive? Wait, what? Wait. +1 into hive tech? He's being greedy, Pappy. Insanely fast hive. Here comes the pylons. Here come the gateways. But again, this setup is late. Here he's gaining ground. Still trading somewhat well. As time goes on, Reynor, he will be able to amass his hydras, but looks like the base will fall. Gets the expansion. Hatchery goes down. Lings kind of push in. Here comes the proxy. Lings, they try to come in from behind. We have shield barriers behind this as well. And the Oracle should be able to defend. Yeah, the Oracles, they will defend. And Reynor, he's in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble here. He's trying to squeeze out a couple of hydras. And again, Reynor, he was just so greedy. This hive is not going to help, Abby. He cancels. Yeah, he cancels the hive at the last minute. Now he realizes... But he already spent so much time and resources on the infestation bits, on the hive itself. The base has been broken. And here he's here to break him. And again, it's been a while since we've seen a proper 8-gate or 3-base 8-gate all-in. Been a hot minute. But it does make more sense here on 10,000 feet. Especially with the forward expansion. There we go, Reynor just going for the mass transfuse, trying to keep himself alive. Trying to maintain control of the ramp. But there are so many stalkers here. We have charge as a follow-up against Ling Hydra. It's going to be ideal. There's 29, almost 30 stalkers. Zelts are coming in. Spinecrawl is trying to push forward, but here come the charge. That's actually the on the cop, but he blinks on in. He's crazy. He blinks on top of the army, throws away the oracles. Very messy engage here from herO. The boys are being pulled, but here he should have enough. He blinks on in once to get on top of the hydras. And GG gets called. herO, he will take the series 2-1, eliminating Reynor and advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played, herO. He will claim the series. Again, we were talking earlier about how aggression is favored on some of these maps, and hey, herO, he met that aggression. We saw in game 2, we saw herO go for the double robo Mass Immortal earlier push on 3 bases with Storm, with Mass Immortal, a crazy kind of build, a crazy push. He was able to break Reynor, who was going purely Ling Hydra or Ling Bane Hydra. Here, likewise, you saw Reynor misreading the game state, is what I will say. The lack of gases and of course the lack of forge and the abundance of gateways is the tell of herO going for a 3-base 8-gate all-in. We saw it was actually, technically it was 9 gateways, because I think there were 2 gateways proxied, not 1. So technically a 9-gate all-in. It was delayed when it comes to the proxies themselves, but Reynor was being greedy. He was double expanding, he was getting into infestation, but he was getting a hive as well. He was thinking a little bit too far ahead, and as a result he was caught with his pants down. The pants were down. GG, well played. herO will advance on. We'll advance on, and with that, we're getting ready for our next series, and we'll be back soon. We'll be back soon here, as we're going to be getting ready here for our next matchup. It's going to be Solar versus Creator in the upper semis. In the upper semifinals, the winner of this series goes up against herO in the grand finals. We will get there. We will get there. For now, though, we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have the semis, and then we'll have the grand final. So 2 matches left. 2 matches remaining here in tonight's broadcast. We'll see you soon after this short break. Take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, hydrate all of your hydras, and we will return with Solar versus Creator. See you soon. Bye. See you soon.